I've seen vendors go from part-time hobbyists to full-time pros with a great booth and real income. Today, we're going to dive into what it really takes to turn your market hustle into a thriving income. Whether you're just starting markets or you're ready to go full time, this video is packed with the information you need to grow and succeed. I'm Bill Davenport with Anchored Market Ventures. We're your number one source for vendor knowledge and empowerment, and we're glad you're here with us on this video. The first part about going full time is you got to have income potential and smart goal setting. When you're looking at going full time, you can make anywhere from 40 to 100,000 plus a year through selling at markets. But you got to have the right systems. You got to work and develop the right booth layout for your products. You got to be establishing an email newsletter so that you can cultivate and nurture your customer base. You got to be advertising and making those posts on social media, getting that connection with your customers and your potential customers by showing behind the scenes, showing your products. You got to work on that professional appearance at the booth with good signage, whether that's a banner, signs for your product, good pricing. You also got to have a good color that complements your product in your booth and just a good layout that utilizes your height, your depth, and your texture very well. So you got to work on a good system. I know some of you guys probably just heard 100,000 plus, but let's look at a super achievable number of $60,000 a year profit. If you look at the big 60,000, you might say, I don't know if my products will make that 60,000 threshold. I bet it will. That 60,000 a year equates to $5,000 a month profit, which breaks down to about $1,250 profit per week. If you look at doing 2 markets a week, let's say you do a Saturday and a Sunday market, and you bring in about $650 in sales at each one of those markets, you just hit that $1,250 for the week. Now, if you're able to do more than 2 markets, it's super achievable. Or if you're just really hustling and cultivating your customer base, you can achieve that at a single market per week, but you also have to do a lot more work on the back end, on the social media, on your newsletter, getting stuff out there through maybe some alternative avenues, which we'll cover a little bit later on. When you're looking at succeeding going full time, you got to factor in all your expenses, your booth fee, your materials, your travel, packaging, taxes. I'll tell you, I'll link down in the description. I highly recommend Wave Accounting and Mileage IQ. Smart vendors set profit goals, not just sales goals. You have to know what you need to succeed or what you need to be able to survive as a business. If you're looking to make $60,000 a year, your sales goal may have to be 75,000 for the year. And then once you remove all your expenses, that's going to give you your profit of $60,000. You need to track sales consistently, whether that's weekly or monthly, or a combination of weekly and monthly. This gives you data to grow from. You need that data when you switch to a business full time to help make decisions going forward. You need to review that data monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, and annually. That'll help you see trends of what's selling good, what sells at particular times of the year really well. And then you can make those plans going forward on how to adjust your inventory, what you need to set up for and be prepared for. And it really helps you cater to the needs of your customers. What separates weekend sellers from full-time vendors? One of the biggest things is mindset. Mindset is everything. Full-time vendors treat it like it's a full-time business instead of just a hobby. They show up, rain or shine, and they bring a polished booth and setup with them. They don't have off days When they're there, it's game time. They're there to sell. It's their livelihood, and they're always putting their best foot or their best product forward when they're at the market, regardless of what the weather is that day or whether the market is busy or it's a slow market. They reinvest some of their money into better booths, better display signs, better inventory, tools to help make their job easier. So you got to take some of that money and reinvest it back into the business. That's what successful vendors that go full time do. And if you're not doing that, that's something you need to look at and see how you can apply it. They review sales data regularly. They see what's working, what's not working, and they adapt and they go with the winning game plan. Hobbyist vendors, they guess. They don't have a real firm grasp on what their expenditures are or on what's performing well or what isn't. Full-time vendors, they have a grasp on what the data is and they tweak things as they need it. Hey, real quick, before we dive into tip number 3, if you haven't joined my Farmers Market Junction newsletter, the link is going to be down in the description below. We give out business tips, vendors tips, some vendor spotlights, all things farmers market. If you join, we have a free ebook, 125 tips that will help any vendor that's at the farmers market. You get that absolutely free for signing up for the newsletter. Time, financial, and mental investments. Full-time markets are super rewarding, but they're not easy. You're prepping gear, product, traveling, selling, loading out your vehicle. It takes real time and it creates real wear and tear on your body and on your mind. You'll need to work on your time management task. You're going to have money to upgrade your gear and grow as you start going full time and your customers start picking up and you start selling more inventory and products, and energy to deal with fatigue and stay sharp. A lot of the successful vendors out there, they take time, whether it's time to meditate, time to go to the gym, they take some time in the morning or the evening to go on a walk, but you have to take care of you. You have to take care of your business. That's all a part of being successful, and it's something that can't be overlooked. It's super important. A lot of super successful vendors at markets, they set boundaries, they build systems, and they rest when it's needed. Make sure that you pay attention to your time, your financials, and your mental state. That old saying, you can't pour from an empty glass. You got to keep yourself in great shape, hitting on all cylinders so that you can be your best when you're at the market. The fourth tip that super successful vendors that go full time do to be successful is they build multiple income streams. Real quick, before we dive into that, leave in the comments if you're selling in multiple places. Let us know where you're selling at and how that's working for you. As a market vendor, you want to develop multiple income streams. Don't rely just on markets alone. You want to diversify. That's pretty much true of any business. You want to sell online like Etsy or Square Online, Pinterest, Amazon. There's a whole lot of ways that you can sell other than the market. If you have your own website, you can sell that way. You want to look at one of the online options for helping diversify your income streams. You can offer wholesale or consignments, whether that's in your local area or the next town over. You might want to look at how can you wholesale your product into a store so that that can get you some additional income coming in, or a consignment place that'll sell your product for a slight commission off of your products. Wholesale and consignment, another great option that you can look at. You can host classes or workshops. People are always thirsting for knowledge. It's a great way to supplement your income. Teach people what you do, show them how you do it, what's involved. People want to know that, and it's a great opportunity for you to be able to charge and host classes or workshops. And that's something that you might want to look at. You can sell digital products, whether that's recipes or guides on how you do stuff. but that's another way that you can diversify and get another stream of income coming in. And you can look at subscriptions or subscription boxes. So you could put together bundle deals, whether it's a box of seasonal produce, or if you're a farmer selling meats, you can have different cuts for a package, like a weekend special or a griller's delight. Whatever it is, you can put it together, but you can do subscription boxes and bundle stuff together. And that's another great thing that you can sell that's up and beyond your normal product stream. What looking at additional income streams does is it smooths out your income and expands you so that you're bringing in income year round. And even when the markets are on some of their slowest parts of the year, you still have steady income coming in. And the fifth thing that full-time successful vendors do is they have goal trackers and expense trackers to be able to truly know what their expenses are, and they can set their goals and they can work towards them with achievable deadlines and a clear path to achieving that. Here at Anchored Market Ventures, we have a vendor goal tracker. You can track it weekly, monthly. This is going to be offered up in our Vendor Edge blueprint that we're working on, and that's going to be available here soon. But we think it's super important that vendors track their goals. It gives you direction on where you're going to. You can take all that feedback in from customers and formulate how your products need to be or where your business needs to go. And then we also have the booth profit tracker. This is per event. You can track the event, all the expenses that were involved with it, your sales, and then you can come up with what you actually made at that event. Vendors set clear goals each month. They plan their events and they track their expenses so that they know what their real profits are and not just their sales. If you're ready to stop treating your market as a side gig and ready to jump into it as a full-time business, you're already heading in the right direction by watching this video. You can do it. There's a lot of great tools here at Anchored Market Ventures. We're here to help you, and we know you're going to crush it. And remember, you're not just selling at the farmer's market, you're building something bigger. Let's grow it together. We'll see you at the markets.